Welcome back to lecture series in DC machines and transformer. In today's class, we are discussing about classification of DC generator. And this classification is also applicable to DC motor. But some small differences are there that you will understand while learning DC motor. Anyhow, this classification is based on connection between armature winding and field winding. This is very important. What is armature winding and what is field winding? Armature winding, you are well aware about that because we had discussed that in previous 3-4 lectures. So armature winding is the winding that we are placing on the outer periphery of rotor. Rotor's outer periphery is slotted to place armature windings. That may be lap connected or wave connected. There is a number of armature windings are placed on, number of coils are placed on each armature rotor placed on the armature periphery. And what is field winding? That was also discussed in the previous class where the construction details are discussed. Field winding is the winding that we are providing on the field poles. This was the field poles. This is field. This is the three-dimensional view. So this is the 3D view. Here we are providing some windings on it will return back on the armature core, and these windings are directly connected to some DC supply, or we have to give some DC. Then only current will pass and some polarity is induced on it, so that north pole and south pole will be always steady. They will not alter their polarity because we are giving direct current DC. Its direction will be always same. If the current direction changes, polarity will be also changing. How it happens? Suppose this is a pole. Suppose this is a pole, and I am having this polarity here. This is the corresponding south pole. Suppose current is going in this direction. What happens? We have to apply right hand thumb rule. If the fingers represents currents, you can see current direction can have two possibilities, either this direction or this direction. Here this is the direction. If the fingers represents the direction of current, then the thumb represents direction of flux. So this is the direction of flux. Here also we are supplying same direction because both the field windings are connected like this. This is the exact arrangement. Both will have same current direction. So here also flux will be passing like this. I hope it is clear. This is thumb, this is fingers direction is current direction, and this is the direction of flux. So flux will be from top to bottom. From where flux is starting, that is termed as north, and where flux is ending, that is termed as south. So this is the arrangement of field winding. But is it always possible to connect a battery inside a generator? No, because generator itself is a source of generating EMF. And can we carry a battery to the generator and can we supply that to the field winding instantaneously? That's not possible. So we are not connecting a DC source. We have to give our output DC as an input to the field winding. The entire output is not needed. A small portion of the output current is fed back to the poles. Then we don't need an extra DC battery from the external outside. So the generated EMF can be used as a source for the field winding, so that there should be a connection between armature winding and field winding. Is it clear? Because armature winding is the winding where current is induced or produced, and we know that current is AC, and our commutator will convert that to DC. Then that DC should be given to the field winding, so that a connection is needed in between armature winding and field winding. Based on that connection, we are classifying DC generator as three types. First is DC series generator. From the name itself, you can tell what may be the connection between armature winding and field winding. They are having series connection. Next one is DC shunt generator. Shunt means parallel. If you don't know that, you have to keep the thing in your mind. Shunt means parallel. So what will be the connection between armature winding and field winding in DC shunt? DC shunt generator. Shunt means parallel. So what will be the connection in between armature winding and field winding in a DC shunt generator? These windings are connected in parallel. Last one is compound, DC compound generator. Compound means it is a solution, it is a combination of something, so that it will have both series and parallel winding. It will have both series and parallel connection. So that some portion of field winding is connected in series with the armature winding, and some other portion of the field winding is connected in parallel with the armature winding. In this type, field winding is connected in series with the armature winding. In this type, field winding is connected in parallel with the armature winding. In compound type, one portion of the field winding is connected in series with the armature winding, and other portion of the field winding is connected in parallel with the armature winding. So that in a compound machine, we may have two field windings, a series field winding and a parallel field winding. Now let us discuss in detail. So first one, DC series generator. Before entering to this, we must know how to represent a generator in equivalent circuit. Generally, armature we can draw like a circle. This may be the front view of rotor, and all the conductors are here. We have to assume like that, and we are placing brush here. This is the representation of armature. Why we are only representing armature? Why stator, magnetic poles are not represented? Because it is electrical equivalent circuit. Electrical equivalent circuit. In electrical circuit, flux or pole, such things are not relevant. But we have to draw the winding corresponding to that. For representing a pole, we don't draw the pole, but we will draw the winding. Which winding? We will draw the field winding like this. That is the concept of electrical drawing, equivalent drawing. So inside the rotor, we know armature windings are there. So I will write RA. What is RA? Armature resistance. RA. Armature winding resistance Ra, because armature windings are there inside. Now I know that we have to connect the armature winding to which winding? Field winding. As it is series generator, this connection should be series. If armature winding is this, we have to connect field winding in series. As it is series winding, I will write RSE, series field winding resistance. Now the things are over. Armature resistance and series field winding resistance. So we know that the armature, actually field windings are there. I will not represent the poles are there, but we are representing that the winding of these poles are connected in series with armature. So what happened when the machine rotates, when the armature rotates and flux is passing? Because why flux is passing? Because some current will pass through this field winding, that will produce flux. So these poles will give flux. Actually the poles field winding is represented as a series winding. So when flux is produced and armature windings are rotated, flux cutting happens, rate of change of flux linkage happens, so that armature current is produced. This armature current passes through the field winding. Sometimes you may have a question. Initially current is 0. Then how the flux will get produced? Because without flux we cannot produce current. Because I will explain that. That is a big topic. But for the time being I will tell you, these field winding, like this is a magnets winding, this field winding, even though the current in the field winding, even though the current is 0, the poles will produce some flux. Why? Even though current is 0, the poles will produce some flux. That flux is known as residual flux. So at the starting, we know that no current is there in the field winding because Ia is 0. But still we will rotate the rotor and the flux, residual flux will be there. What is residual flux? It is the flux stored in the poles while it was excited previously. When you excite the machine and you turns the machine off, still it will store some flux. It will be a very small flux. By cutting that flux, initially a small armature current will get produced. That current will pass through the field winding again. So flux will increase. By step, the flux value will increase and armature current will become rated current. Okay. So these things are not needed. You should understand that poles are there. Now, this is the terminals where you will get EMF, generated EMF, and current. EMF is there. If you check here, you will get the generated EMF. But if the current needs to pass, it should be a closed path. So we will connect a load here. So the generator is applying current to the load. And armature winding, field winding and armature winding are in series because it is a series generator. And current will pass through the load also, that is known as load current. And we will get some voltage here across the load. That voltage is known as load voltage. Let me ask a question. Which will be the higher value? Generated EMF or terminal voltage or load voltage? It is having another name, load voltage or terminal voltage. Which is higher? For answering that, I will tell you a simple example. We all know that power is produced far away from our home. Suppose we are producing power at Calicut diesel power plant, and by using transmission lines, we will bring the power to our home. So in our home, we will tell voltage. We don't know about the generated EMF. We are always speaking about the voltage, terminal voltage. We know that terminal voltage is 230 volt in our home. But we are not thinking about the generated EMF there. That is my question. Will it be higher or lower? Definitely generated EMF will be higher because current is flowing from higher potential to lower potential. And why it is higher and it is lower? Because some loss is there in the traveling path, some loss is there. So terminal voltage plus these loss will give the generated EMF. So which is always higher? Generated EMF Eg is always higher than V. Eg is equal to V plus losses. That is important. V plus losses. Okay. So we know that it is a series generator. Armature is in series with the field winding. Field winding is in series with the load. All the components are in series. So all the current are series currents, and series currents are same in magnitude. So IA is equal to, this is ISC, series field winding current, is equal to IL. All the currents are same. And basically, we are taking current as IA. So now check. IA is passing through the armature winding. Because IA is produced inside the armature. What is there inside this armature? Windings are there. So IA will pass through all the windings. So which is the first loss? IARA, that is armature winding loss. What is the next loss? The same IA will pass through RSC, series field winding. So there will be a current into resistance loss, IA RSC, field winding loss. Is there any other loss in the series path? No, you cannot see any other loss in the series path. So these two losses are present in between Eg and V. So we can write Eg is equal to V plus IARA plus IARC. Or we can write Eg is equal to V plus IA into RA plus RSC. This is the terminal voltage equation of this DC series generator. Now we will move to DC shunt generator. Okay, now I am trying to explain DC shunt generator. So we know that in DC shunt generator, armature winding is connected in parallel with field winding. That is a thing we already know. We know this thing, so we have to implement that in the figure. So this is the armature. Its resistance is given as RA, winding resistance, and we will produce an EMF Eg here if flux is there. Then this is the load. Okay, such things are known. Now I want to draw field winding. We know that field winding should be in parallel with armature winding. Now it is okay. Field winding is in parallel with armature winding. This is the resistance RSH. What is RSH? Resistance of shunt field winding. Resistance of shunt field winding. So shunt field winding resistance is given as RSH. Now we are connecting the generator to output terminals. Okay. So now let us try to move the armature, rotate the armature. So initially we will give a small flux from the field winding, that is residual flux, and by cutting the residual flux a small current is produced IA, and a portion of this IA will again goes to the field winding. That current is known as ISH, field winding current, shunt field winding current ISH, and other portion will go to load, that is IL, load current. So this ISH will again increase the flux will increase. As a result, flux cutting will increase. So IA will increase, ISH will increase, IL will increase. This increased ISH will again empower the flux produced in the field winding. So flux will again increase. At last we will obtain the rated armature current and rated flux will be produced. So now we want to write the equations. Basically we can see in this circuit IA is equal to, we are splitting IA into two parts, IL plus ISH. IA is equal to IL plus ISH. Okay. Now let me mark terminal voltage V. This is the terminal voltage V, and this is the generated EMF EG, and these three branches are parallel. So parallel means here appears terminal voltage V appears here, here also voltage is V, here also voltage is V, because parallel. All the parallel nodes are having same voltage. So V is the voltage of all the three top nodes. Now what is there in between EG and V? Which is higher? We know that definitely EG is higher because current is flowing from higher potential to lower potential, and EG is equal to V plus losses. Now let me ask you, what are the losses? What are the losses? EG is equal to V plus, the first loss is, we know armature resistance loss, IA RA plus, is there any other losses? No. In between EG and V there is only one and only winding is present, that is armature winding. So loss is IA RA loss. So no need to add this plus signature. EG is equal to V plus IA RA. So now I am thinking, is there any effect for ISH on this EMF equation? What was the previous equation? EG is equal to V plus IA into RA plus RSC. In that one, field winding is having an effect. But in this one, directly there is no effect for RSH. RSH is not having any effect on this equation. That is wrong. RSH is having an effect because IA is equal to IL plus ISH. IA is equal to IL plus ISH. In this IA, ISH is having an effect. In this IA, ISH is having an effect. And we can write equation for ISH. ISH is equal to, this is ISH. What is the equation for ISH? This is the voltage V, this is the resistance RSH, this is the current ISH. So ISH is equal to V by RSH. Now you can see RSH is having an effect on ISH, ISH is having an effect on IA, IA is having an effect on EG. That is the relation. So this equation is also important. ISH is equal to V by RSH. So this is the case of DC shunt generator. Now we will moving to DC compound generator. Okay. Now look into DC compound generator. DC compound generators are further classified as long shunt generator and short shunt generator. Actually we know that what is DC compound generator. In compound generator there is a series winding, series field winding and shunt field winding. Both the windings are present. One portion of the field winding is connected in series with the armature winding, and other portion of the field winding is connected in parallel with the armature winding. So we are having two set of winding, series field winding, shunt field winding. This is the figure of a DC long shunt generator. So we are discussing DC long shunt generator initially. So this is armature winding RA, this is the EG terminals. This is series field winding, that is a portion of field winding is connected in series with the armature, series field winding. Now another portion of field winding is connected in parallel with the armature. This is parallel with the armature, that is shunt field winding. Now why it is known as long shunt? Because the shunt connection is connected above the series connection point. We can also connect this to this point, then it will become short shunt. Because if shunt field winding is overlapping the series field winding, such a machine is known as long shunt compound generator, DC long shunt generator or DC long shunt compound generator. Now this is the armature current IA. This IA will split into IL and ISH. So we can write IA is equal to IL plus ISH. Okay, IA is equal to IL plus ISH. On the other hand, we can see IA is passing through series field winding also. So series field winding current ISC and IA are same, because these RA and RC are in series. So IA and ISC are same. Now what will be the equation of V? This is voltage V appearing at this node. So as these are parallel nodes, V will appear at this node also, and here also V will appear. These are reference nodes. So this voltage is same, this voltage is same, this voltage is same. Now tell me, what is the equation for V? Can you relate EG and V? Of course EG is greater than V, and we know EG is equal to V plus losses. Now tell me, what are the losses in between this EG point and this V node? It's very simple. EG is equal to V plus, two losses are there. One is IARA, armature current into armature resistance. Other one is armature current into series field resistance, IARC. So in total, EG is equal to V plus IA into RA plus RC. Now you can see this equation is same as that of series machine. Okay. Now we will move to DC short shunt compound generator. Okay, now we are looking into the second classification of DC compound generator, that is DC short shunt generator. So here the things are very interesting. We know that this is the armature winding RA and this is series field. Now the question comes, as it is short shunt, how we can connect the shunt winding? Previously we are connecting the shunt winding to this point. As it is long shunt, we are overlapping series winding. But here in short shunt connection should be short. We are not allowed to overlap the series winding. So we are connecting shunt winding here. RSH, ISH shunt current, ISC series field winding current. But you should be very careful while marking IA. IA is here, and this IA is splitting into ISH and ISC. Now you can connect the generator to load. This is load. ISC, IL, everything is same. Now we can write some basic current relations. IA is splitting into ISH and ISE. But we can see ISE is same as load current IL because this is a series path. Now, this is EG and this is V, terminal voltage V. As this node is in parallel to this node, V appears here also. Both voltage are same. But I want to write a relation between EG and V. Definitely EG will be greater than V because current is flowing from EG to V. Now EG is equal to V plus losses. What are the losses in between EG and V? EG is equal to V plus. First loss is in here the armature winding. Armature winding is have a resistance RA and current is IA. So first loss is IARA, armature winding loss. What is the second loss? Is it IARC in between EG and V? Is it IARC? No, IA is not flowing to RC. A portion of IA is flowing to RC. So the field, series field winding current is not equal to ISC. IA is not equal to ISC. You should be very careful in this one. So next loss is ISC-RSC. That is somewhat different. ISC-RSC. IA and ISC are not same. So this is the EG and V relation. Now let me ask you, what is the expression for ISH? Previously it was V by RSH. Now it is not V by RSH because V is here. But RSH is connected in this node. So you want to find voltage of this node. Is it EG? No. There is one loss, IARA loss. So this node's voltage is nothing but it will be definitely less than EG because current is flowing towards outside, higher potential to this node. So this voltage, we want to find this voltage divided by RSH, that is ISH. So what is this voltage? That is EG minus IARA. EG minus IARA will give this voltage. EG minus IARA minus ISC-RSC will give this voltage. Anyhow, EG is higher. This voltage is less than EG. And this voltage is V is less than this node's voltage, like that. So this is the important relation. The main thing you have to keep in your mind is in short shunt generator, ISH is not V by RSH. It is some other voltage by RSH because ISH is not connected in parallel with load. It is connected to some other point. If ISH is connected to this point, then ISH is equal to V by RSH. But now it is connected to some other point. So you want to calculate that voltage, that is EG minus IARA. Or V plus ISC-RSC. All are same. This can be determined in another way in term of V, that is V plus ISC-RSC. That is also same. So these are the classifications of DC generator. We discussed series generator, shunt generator, long shunt generator, short shunt generator and their mathematic derivations for their terminal voltage equations. And you can expect some small numerical problems from this area also. So hope you enjoyed this lecture. We'll see in the next class. Thank you.